Okay. Either do more challenges. We could also. I promoted. Let's have a look at things. Oh yeah. Okay. Because I want this to go fast. I guess not everybody on Zeta, everyone watching at home on Zeta, knows about all the technology in the room. So I'm going to do my best to talk about all the technology in the room as best I can. It kind of give you an abridged tour because I wasn't here for most of the setup. I'm wearing a microphone. When I speak, it amplifies my voice and transmits it from this box via radio waves to another room where it is picked up and fed into a mixing board.
Neat.
Yeah.
Cool technology.
I think so too. There are actually multiple microphones in the room. There's two right here and there's another one right here. That's to pick up the room.
There's one over there,
Yep.
there's one over there.
Are you wearing a mic pack?
No.
You are not wearing a mic pack. Okay. Then I'm going to just mute mine actually also too. Cameron's wearing one. We do have multiple mic packs for people when we need to do that.
In fact, I'm wearing multiple different technologies.
Are you?
Socks?
Socks, clothes.
Yeah.
My glasses are technology, but they're down on the ground.
All of the
I have a watch.
non-mic packs are shotgun mics?
Yes.
That's a technology.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the technology that Cameron is currently wearing, he would not be allowed to be on camera and driving the bus. So he's important to make Desert Bus work.
I'm currently draped across another very important technology.
That's right.
This ring is neat technology.
Synthetic leather. So Kevin is the camera we're using right now. That is a pan-tilt zoom camera, PTZ. We can kind of move around and look at different areas of the event, but it's not as good as our really nice cameras, which you can see on the left side of the screen. All of the stuff that is being gathered through here. For example, these things I'm kind of gesturing at. That's a cluster of cameras that are either shooting the entire stage, a close-up of the stage where I would be standing, Cameron himself, or the command chair. There's also a lot of lights you can see shining. We have 48 lights this year.
We have that many.
So many lights, I don't know.
It's very difficult to not look directly into one of them at any
Especially
given
when
time.
it goes from dark to high.
So this is what you're seeing down in the corner over there. Cameron, of course, is playing that live from here, but we've got that split, so it's going to the computer that processes all this and feeding this to you. Of course, this is the main screen. Chat monitor is right here. You can see yourself kind of in that, and then these screens you can't see, and that's fine. Are other monitors we have, so we can have a shot of what's going on in engineering at any moment, and we also have a shot of what we call the ISO, which is an isolated monitor that is for stuff only for us to read. And a neat trick that they can do this year is they can move things around on all of these monitors. If we want to see something somewhere else, it is possible to move that stuff around, and we're not going to do any of that. Behind the main bus monitor is a JVC XI, which is a Sega Genesis, Sega CD unit all installed. It's an all-in-one unit, and it has better video output, and we are sending it through a what do we call that again? It's a converter device that actually gives us like SCART. Like we can get SCART out of that, and we can get RGB out of that, and we can send that to the. That's why you have such a clean feed this year. That's why we have such a clean feed as well. Is that we are taking RGB signal instead of actually taking whatever the S-video signal was before that we used to have to rely on for like previous years. And I believe Sean probably knows more about that specifically. Am I right, Sean?
Not really. I haven't had a whole lot to do with the XI itself as far as getting the video over here.
Okay.
Like that was mostly set up before I got into town.
Well, fair enough. My apologies then.
Are we running a ROM this year instead of a hard disk?
No, the idea of how we've always tried to run Desert Bus is that we're using a proper Sega Genesis controller plugged into a proper Sega Genesis computer, right? Like a proper console. Even though it's a JVC XI, this is still technically a Sega Genesis and Sega CD. We don't ever want to use a ROM. If we ever get to the point where we have to use an emulator, it's because we've been unable, we have either lost access to the game itself, we don't have copies of the game anymore, and we can't get one for whatever reason, or everything breaks before a desert bus starts, and we have no other recourse but to actually resort to using emulated whatever. So we are trying to always do it for real. This is a real Genesis console essentially with a real controller. Everything that's hooked up is all actual hardware you could own and hold in your hands. Yes, the game is on a burned CD because this game actually never really came out. As you can see, all the lights that are up everywhere, all the lights are actually being controlled through a lighting mixer. So we have full what they call DMX control. And every light can be individually controlled for the lighting mixer so that we can raise and lower lights. We can set different colors on different lights depending on which ones we want to use. That's why the dance parties are always amazing because we can basically control that stuff. There's also lights in behind, so everything you're seeing lit from back there, these are all being rented. They're all multicolor lenses, or they're all multicolored lights to cast different colors of light. I'm using an Apple iMac. Basically, everybody who sits in command are using Apple iMacs to this Apple iMac to basically read your challenges, to set up stuff. But then also, Max is here, and he will attest to having an iMac. The stage friend has his own iMac near past on this side. This is near where Kevin is, and if you Kevin is like directly above us, and he can actually, as he pans back, you can actually see more of what the other parts of the stage look like. But Max has his own station that he uses to act as stage friend. That they use. I'm sorry, Max.
Yes,
My apologies.
no worries.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a station here that I use.
Just saw it go by briefly.
That's over just to the right of Kevin is the station that I use. It's an iMac. It's pretty straightforward.
Yep. Probably get a good shot of that.
Yeah.
There's obviously lighting and a microphone over here as well. So if you're standing here, you can deal with stuff that was on the black surface.
Yep. See my headphones that I use to vet stuff. I listen to things before other people do to check for swears and stuff. This is the mouse that I use to click on things. You know, it's pretty straightforward.
And the reason why we know we can see all this and we know what's being shown is that we have a video monitor as well that shows us what's currently live, and we also have another monitor that's showing us what's on ISO. So there's basically duplicates of stuff that we're watching on the other side. Other technology that makes Desert Bus work is in engineering. We green screened engineering this year just in case they want to do any goofs. Cool, thank you. I'll stand back here so I don't get picked up. There is a lot that you guys don't get to see because we don't have an off angle of this room.
We do have a split zone.
Oh, nice. So you can see that the video station, which is where Boomer's working, the audio station, which is where Dark Morphord's working, they both have 2 monitors each. They both have whatever systems they're using. I'm pretty sure you're on a Mac, Boomer, and I'm pretty sure you're on a PC?
Mac.
You're on a Mac as well, okay. But then also ahead is that they have a what currently is the program view. So they're seeing what you guys are seeing at home. They have a monitor up that always shows them that, and then beside that they have another monitor that you guys have probably seen at the Moonbase before. It's our multi-out, which shows every camera feed that's going into our video switcher. And that way they can see what's going on at different points. They have everything up at the same time so they know when and how they can swap. You guys have your own lighting. Because if you're gonna have a dance party, you gotta have it in here too. So there's lots of lighting in this room. There's microphones in this room obviously too, but they're close up. And then back here, people working on generally their own computers, like Ashton or Fuji or Mike, are doing stuff to interact with you guys and to do all the other things they have to do on the back end. Because we have so many audio feeds, everybody is on. wish we pulled that one last night when we had the peach pie shots here. There's also a big 16-channel mixer that's sitting beside Sean so that he can do all of the audio mixing as things are happening. But you guys also have Elgato Stream Deck Pros, which have like 24 different buttons, which have a whole bunch of different stuff set up so you can do different things when you need to do it for lighting cues or audio cues or, yeah. Okay.
Nothing happened.
Okay, good. Everything goes dead. The water bottle falls over and everything goes to hell.
Just that monitor's display. Nothing went wrong.
And so a lot of the stuff has been brought from Bionic Treasures Media, from Loading Ready Runs Studios, and a lot of it's also been brought from Vancouver Island University. A lot of it has been either rented from Saanich Rentals or rented from Long and McQuaid because we don't have access to everything that we need at all those locations. And so if you've watched Paul talk about Lurtech and about how he has stuff set up, a lot of the stuff that you've seen him talk about, those are things that come here. We rip apart everything so we can set up to make things operate here. I'm going to call it there. I think that's enough of the technology. I'm going to go back in the other room. You guys are all seeming very well behaved.
Of course.
Yeah.
We never do anything that is amiss.
It's chill Zeta this year.
Yeah. You gotta
You're the boss.
see. Beej, you were describing technology, right? You didn't describe the technology of that little box on your desk.
I did not. That was the last thing, but I guess you guys kind of demonstrated that.
I don't know what you're talking
What?
about.
No, that wasn't.
I heard music.
I mean,
There's
it
so much
could have been
fault.
Ian.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
This is the Playdat.
The play dad.
This is the Playdat.
Oh.
It is used to Playdat music. As you can see, it is a crank-based entertainment. And Ian and Sean did a lot of work putting that together. And the music was all decided upon by a lot of people with a lot of editorial help from Andrew, I think, and also Ian. I'm not sure.
But how does it even work?
I don't really know how they make decisions for that. All I know is that I just stay out of a lot of things that happen at Desert Bus, it seems. I come do this, and it's great.